Welcome to tonight's live stream. I am going to get started in a minute. I just need to let everybody on social media know that the stream is happening right now. What's going on, computer robots? Having some technical difficulties with getting ready to promote the screen. Okay. Good evening, D-Wood7842. Glad to see you here. Okay, with all the promotion done and ready to screen, I'm gonna get into some perfunctory before I get into tonight's topic. Now, I just got the last page of the principal story from John Hayes at Death's Door's Heart from Antonio Balderi, and I wanted to share that with people on the community tab page. So the final page of the story is on the community tab page, and you guys can check it out. So all of the principal art on John Haynes of Death's Door's main story is complete, and now all I'm waiting for is the epilogue and the cover, and I'll be ready to launch John Haynes at Death's Door, the comic book, on Kickstarter soon. So we're getting near the finish line on John Haynes at Death's Door's comic, and I can't wait to share this book with you. I mean, this final page looks fantastic. And as I was laying out all of the pages on Acrobat, I just absolutely love all of the sequencing and the nuances in the art. And I definitely think you're going to really enjoy this comic when it comes out later this year. So I've got I've got all the pages of the principal story right now, and I just can't. I'm just counting down the days till I can go out here and launch this Kickstarter and get this comic to you. Now, in addition to John Haynes at Death's Door's art practically being complete, I also this week started launching the SJS Direct 2022 catalog. And the first book in the SJS Direct 2022 catalog is ISIS Legacy. Now, in this book, we have the sorority secrets of the goddess next door revealed in this ISIS series adventure. And you definitely don't want to miss out on this story because it's a fun story that concludes the Theta's story arc that I started with ISIS Death of a Theta and continued in ISIS Imitation of Life. And this book is a milestone for the ISIS series because this book is the 20th book in the ISIS series, and it is the book that celebrates the 10th anniversary of the ISIS series. So I have been out here writing the ISIS series for 10 years, and this book signifies the 10th anniversary of the ISIS series. So you definitely want to pick this one up because it's now available in paperback right now, and you'll be able to pick up the Kindle version in March. I really wanted to get this one out a little sooner, but I had to wait for the cover, and I'm hoping that you guys pick up this weekend in paperback because I'm working hard for some weekend book sales, and I would love to see some readers pick up ISIS Legacy because this one is one that has a lot of will have you with a lot of pride that's related to Black history, and it's a very positive story about how women contribute to the legacies of a Black family. So you can pick up ISIS Legacy right now in paperback, and you can also pick it and you can pre-order it on Kindle. And I'm asking everybody to please go pick up ISIS Legacy in paperback this weekend. Now, with all of the perfunctory done as related to the SJS Direct imprint, I'll get into tonight's topic. But before I get into tonight's topic, I'm going to talk about the woman crisis. I'm getting closer and closer to the finish line on the first draft of the woman crisis. This has been a major challenge of a book for me, and the book is looking at like it's going to be about 50,000 words. So the woman crisis is on its way to getting done, and I've had to tackle a lot of different topics and think about a lot of different topics that are contributing to the woman crisis. So one of the things that made me really think about it, 2 chapters, was the pressures that women are going through. I was thinking about what happened with Chelsea Christ, and I also thought about the suicide trend that a lot of women are going through right now. Just like the man crisis, we have a lot of women who are in crisis, and what I want to do is go through all of the subjects so that women can get a comprehensive picture of why a lot of women are in crisis right now. Now, I'm hoping to do a live stream about the woman crisis when I start to launch that book, and I may be doing a lot of different videos over the course of the year to promote the woman crisis and detail different articles and different stories of women in crisis. But I'm hoping to have that book out later this year as the fall catalog, and I'm hoping that you guys will be there to pick up the woman crisis later this year. Now, with all of the SJS Direct perfunctory complete, I'm going to get into tonight's topic. Now, tonight's topic is one that just came to me last night before I was getting ready for bed. And I was thinking about all of the things that women do that keep them single. Now, when it comes down to a lot of women, they are out here, they don't understand how they can easily disrespect a man and alienate him and make it where he will not even be interested in either want to pursue a second date with her or remain in a relationship with her. Now, a lot of women who grow up in single mother households, they learn a culture of contempt because they see their mothers out here modeling behavior where they don't learn about the importance of the intangible of respect. Now, because many women don't learn about the intangible of respect early on, what happens is they go out here and participate in extremely disrespectful behavior and not even know it. And the reason why they participate in extremely disrespectful behavior is because they see that disrespectful behavior modeled for them in front of them by their mother and the men that they get involved with. Because they see their mothers out here showing disrespect to men, this is the reason why many women go out here and participate in this disrespectful behavior that practically turns a guy off and leads to a man not even being interested in wanting to call you back for a second date. And that's the big problem with a lot of women out here. They think that they don't have to respect a man due to the dysfunctional way they have been raised inside of some of these single mother households and divorced households. And because they have been raised to think that it's okay to not show a man respect, they wind up becoming stuck being single for the rest of their lives. Now, a lot of these women, they don't really, again, understand how important the intangible of respect is. And because they don't understand how important the intangible of respect is, they go out here and think that they can just treat a man any sort of way, and he's just supposed to tolerate it. Now, that's the biggest mistake that many women make, because many women, they take their opportunities to have relationships with men for granted, and they think that because when they're young, they've got lots of suitors paying attention to them, that they can go out here and mistreat men, and they think that because they can go out here and disrespect a man, that they've got all these opportunities and chances for relationships. But the whole thing is, a woman only gets one chance to make a first impression. And that is the biggest mistake that your disrespectful women make, is thinking that they can go out here and act a fool in front of a guy, and that's going to lead to them still having opportunities with that guy. Now, one of the most disrespectful things that a female can go out here and do is go out here and laugh at a guy on first meeting them. This is something that a lot of women do when they have their initial reaction to a man, and they think that, oh, if I'm laughing at this man because I'm fine, I'm just don't see him as somebody I respect, that this is something funny. But it's not funny at all, because what's happening is that this man is seeing you laugh at him, and when he sees you laughing at him, he's already made up his mind that this is a woman I don't want to get involved with. I ran into that a lot when I was in high school, women who would just burst out in laughter. And once I saw them bursting out in laughter, I already knew that I wasn't going to want to deal with that woman, because that woman, or that girl in high school, basically showed me nothing but disrespect. Because when she went out here and laughed at me and expressed her contempt in a passive aggressive way, that basically sent me a message that this is not somebody I would want to get involved with. Because if this woman could not go out here and show me the basic as related to respect, then there was no need to continue ever thinking about further engagement with that person. And this is a mistake many women and teenage girls make when they're young. And once they make this mistake, they practically don't understand why most guys out here get turned off, because once they see you go out here and laugh at a guy, that basically shows that you don't really have respect for him to show him a basic modicum of respect on the lowest level. Because on the basic low level, a woman has to show a man respect as related to just when he comes in her presence. And if she cannot show him that basic respect, he's already charged her to the game in his mind, and he's already moved on. Now, that's the first thing that many women do that's disrespectful, that keeps them single, is laughing at a man. The other thing that they do is talking down to a man. Now, in an initial meeting, a lot of times you'll get women out here and they'll start going out here and trying to talk down to a man, because in some cases they want to show how much better they are than a guy. And a lot of females who come from single parent households or divorced households, they're used to seeing the female as the leader and the female as the authority figure. So when they look at a man, they look at him as less than. And because they're looking at him as less than, what happens is they start to condescend to a man. And if you're out here and you condescend to a man, that is going to lead to an extreme negative first impression as related to relationships. Because a man, again, is looking for the basic respect that he wants to receive. And if he cannot receive, again, that basic respect as related to a conversation when he initially meets you, then he's not going to be interested in further engaging you. So if he sees you talking down to him in a condescending manner, that's going to be a reason for him to not want to further engage you. And what he will do is politely have that initial conversation with you. And then after he has that initial conversation with you, he's then going to end things, and then he's going to cut off all initial contact with that woman. Because once he sees that he cannot receive the basic respect as related to just having a basic conversation, that's when he's going to go out here and put a period at the end of things. Because once he sees that this woman is being extremely arrogant and talking down to him, he's going to see that he cannot be the leader in the relationship. And if he sees you talking down to him, he's going to see that you think that he's like a child. And a man, he's not going to put up with that, because he wants that intangible of his respect. And that intangible of his respect has higher value to him than the attention of a woman. Once he sees that you're talking down to him and talking to him like a child, he's not going to say anything about, you're disrespecting me. No, he's just going to quietly walk away. And once he walks away, that's going to be the end of the engagement. So that's another disrespectful thing that women do that keeps them single. And when they go out here and talk down to a guy and treat him like a child, this is an action that leads to the man charging the woman to the game. And again, he's charging her to the game even before he makes the initial contact and considers having a further engagement, like a first meeting at a coffee shop. This is even before he even asks for the phone number. This is the kind of behavior that turns a guy off and makes it where he's not going to even want to engage you at that point. Once he sees women laughing at him and going out here and talking down to him, that's the kind of disrespect that many men, once they see these initial actions, that's a sign for him to just cut things off. Now, another thing that leads to men leaving women alone before we even get into the dating thing or going out to be with each other is when a guy goes out here and makes his call or his text message. Now, many guys have a rule of only calling once or texting once, and if they don't see a response, they are going to just basically see this as disrespect. Because if a woman is interested in a guy, she is going to immediately respond to that guy. So if he sees that this woman is not returning his call in a time period like in a couple of hours, then he's basically going to say this is practically over, and he's going to put a period at it because this woman is not respecting the intangible of his time. And because this woman does not respect the intangible of his time, he is going to go out here and charge that woman to the game because she does not respect the intangible of his time. When a man sees a woman who does not go out here and return a call or return a text message almost immediately, that is where he's going to again put the period at the end of things because he's not seeing himself being respected as a leader, and he's not seeing himself being respected and made a priority as related to any relationship that he would possibly have with her, because he doesn't see this woman making him a priority. He's going to just say, look, this woman doesn't respect my time, and she treats me like I'm a number two or even number five. So he's going to say, look, I'm going to charge this to the game and keep it moving because this woman does not respect me. Now, as your guys out here, again, they understand the value of their time. And another thing that women do that's really disrespectful is having other guys out here and not really disclosing that she's seeing other men. And if a guy sees that she's going to go out here and talk about how she wants to get with him but has other guys, many men see that as extremely disrespectful. And it's disrespectful because, again, you are not valuing this man's time, and you are also making this man a background player in some sort of harem. Now, again, the man wants to be the head as related to any relationship, and he has no interest in being a part of some female's harem. And because when he hears, oh, she's out here with other guys, what he's going to do is go out here and charge her to the game, because that's very disrespectful to sit there and have pursue other dates with other guys, because that just says it's a waste of his time. And men don't want to compete for the attention of any female. No, many men, once they see a woman trying to make him play these competitive games, that's something that he sees as disrespectful to him. And a guy with high self-esteem, he's going to say, no, I'm not going to be disrespected. So I'm not going to waste my time trying to chase some woman and try to prove that I'm better than other guys, because I have value as a man. And if this woman values me and respects me, she is going to respect my time and respect me by making me a priority, not having out here with other guys. And that is another thing that is extremely disrespectful. Now, another thing that is disrespectful to a guy is when a woman was out with you on a coffee shop date and she just sits there talking about college degrees and jobs. That is disrespectful because this man wants to get to know you as a person. And when you sit there and talk about college degrees and jobs, that just shows that you're not respecting this man's time and you're not respecting him as a partner. You basically are sending the impression that all you care about is your job and you're putting your job first over him. So talking about your degrees and your job is a major turnoff for most guys, and most men don't care about your degrees or your job. It's disrespectful to sit there and talk about these things because while this may impress a employer during a job interview, it doesn't really send a message to a man that you're going to be a helpmeet and a support to him. It just sends a message that you're going to be more committed to the job than him. And when guys see that you're more committed to the job than him, what he's going to do is he's going to, again, quietly say that he had a nice evening and he's going to leave. And then he's not going to ever call again. Thank you, Kenneth Williams, for the super chat. I really appreciate it. If you guys want to drop a cash out, I dropped the link in the description and I'll drop it again. I'm going to get back into the topic. And again, these are disrespectful things that women do. And many women sit there and wonder, oh, why didn't that guy ask for my phone number? Why didn't that guy call me back for a second date? And these are the little things that lead to guys not wanting to call you for that second date or want to ask for your phone number, because once he sees these little things, that's when he decides to walk away, because he's already seeing that if he got into a relationship with you, you're not going to show him, again, the basic intangible of respect. And if he cannot get respect, he knows that there is no foundation for love and there is no foundation for trust. And if he cannot get the basics as related to respect, then he's not going to want to deal with you. And again, this is just at the start of things as related to the process of getting to know the woman. And these are the things that men think about critically when they get involved with women before they even ask for a phone number or they even go out to call you to ask for coffee. Now, again, once he starts to hear these kinds of things, he's just saying, okay, this already lets me know that this woman is not qualified to be a partner to me, and he just puts a period at the end of things. That's where the guy charges things to the game, because he values his time, and because he values his time, he doesn't want to engage people who basically don't show him the basics as respect. Now, D Wood 78 Part 2 dropped a point. Yes, not taking rejection is another issue. Yes, that's another thing that guys, when they see women being disrespectful, that's a real serious problem. I mean, when a man, when he says no to you and he sees you acting crazy, that right there makes it where he already says, okay, if I have a situation with this woman and she's disagreeing with me, she's going to be a problem. And I don't want to be in a relationship with a woman who is going to be a problem. And I'm stuck with this person and she's just acting crazy. This is the other big mistake that a lot of women don't make. They don't understand that your job is to make a good first impression on this man so that he can see if you are a suitable partner for a relationship. So that's what the courtship process is all about. And if he's seeing really crazy behavior and disrespectful behavior, that already lets him know that you are not going to be a viable partner for a relationship, and he's not going to see you as somebody that's going to be possibly somebody he wants to ask out again. Now, another disrespectful thing that women do is talk greasy. And this is something that a lot of black women go out here and do. when they're out with a guy, they will go out here and make these slick comments. Now, these slick comments are meant to take a shot at a guy, but what they're doing, ironically, is shooting down their chances at ever being able to get this man to move forward with them as related to any sort of courtship. Because once a guy sees you coming out here with with a slick mouth and saying things like he's so stupid, pissing, and saying things like I don't really know why he's doing that. That's when he starts to really have issues with you because he sees somebody who is basically showing no respect for him as a human being. Because when you go out here and you're talking slick and talking greasy, it just shows that you're too scared to go head up with this man. And it basically shows how you're going to show disrespect for this man under the table and possibly try to undermine his authority. So when a guy sees a woman out here talking slick and talking greasy and talking under her breath and not really showing any sort of respect for him, that's a sign that this woman does not trust him. And once he starts to see the slick mouth and the little under the breath comments as he's initially meeting you, that's something that lets that man know right there, okay, I'm not going to need to engage this woman anymore. What I need to do is politely excuse myself and then not deal with said female. So once he sees that disrespect directed towards him, where if he's taking an action and she just goes out here and says something slick under her breath or says something slick on the side, that right there is a sign to most men of character that he's being disrespected. And once he sees that disrespect, he knows, okay, after I finish talking to this person, I need to drop all contact with them because this is not a person I'm going to be able to further build anything with. So once he sees the slick mouth, that basically is the nail in the coffin. And again, no guy is going to go into a back and forth with you once he sees the slick mouth. No, what he's going to quietly do is excuse himself. And once he excuses himself, he is not going to have any contact with you. Now, sometimes men and women will meet at the coffee shop and women will get past the phone numbers and the initial contact and they'll have a meeting. And one of the things that really makes a guy get turned off and that is disrespectful to him is not showing up at the designated time. This is another disrespectful thing that a lot of women do, and it again shows no respect for this man's time. So if a woman is late, what she should do is either give him a call or a text message to let him know that you're going to be late, not just show up 45 minutes or an hour later, because that is extremely disrespectful. And if you go out here and you do this type of thing, what a guy is going to do is he's going to either leave or he's just going to politely charge you to the game. Now, women who do this, they don't really understand how this is a really negative first impression when you don't show up on time, because a man's time, again, is a precious thing, and he is investing some time in you to see if you are somebody he wants to get to know. And if he sees somebody who is out here is going to make him wait an hour or wait 30 minutes or 15 minutes, that's a disrespect for him because, again, he's being put last as related to things and not being seen as somebody who she needs to respect or regard. Because some women, again, they will find time for the guys who they want to find time for. But if they don't want to get out here and be on time, it shows that she has no respect for you. So not being on time is something that is extremely disrespectful. And usually once a guy sees that a woman was not on time, that is a reason that many guys will not make that call for a second meeting, and that's what really squelches a lot of women as related to their first meetings at the coffee shop where they're supposed to talk. And again, that's what happens when you don't understand the concept of time as related to men. And men value their time because again, time is an intangible that they cannot get back in their lives. And if they see that you don't regard his time, he's not going to have much regard for you. Now, another thing that leads to a lot of that is really disrespectful that women do when they're on a first meeting is go out here and make a big order for something expensive. Now, going out here and making an order for something expensive is disrespectful because you're showing no respect for this man as related to his character. Basically, you're looking like one of these meal and drink chicks that I talk about in my ebook, Misadventures of Captain Save 'em. And once he sees you talking about how you want to order something big and expensive in a coffee shop, that's the end for you. So you can read that whole chapter where I talk about it. Read that in Misadventures of Captain Save 'em. That's on Amazon.com in Kindle format. And once he sees you going out here, and again, basically in a coffee shop, ordering expensive dishes and thinking that he's going to pay for it, that's a major turnoff because it shows that you're more here for the meal than to get to know him, and you're basically wasting this man's time. That's the message that you're sending when you go out here and make that big order and order one of the more expensive things on the menu. You're showing him nothing but disrespect. Now, if you want to show that man some respect, if you want to order something big, what you do is you order whatever you want, and then you say that you're going to pay your own way. That's a way of showing respect to a man because you're saying that you're here for him, not for a free meal. And when you go out here and you pay for your own way on that first initial meeting at the coffee shop, that sends a very powerful message to that guy that you want to spend time with him and you're here to spend time with him. But if you go there looking to expect him to pay for some pound cake or some coffee, or even going out here and ordering one of these big expensive sandwiches, like at Starbucks, you order one of these big expensive sandwiches, that's disrespectful to that guy. And it basically, again, sends him the message you're a meal and drink female, and you're looking to get a dinner at his expense and not looking to build with him. So basically, all of the things that you had as related to making a connection with that man go down the toilet along with that meal you just ingested. And that's the mistake some women make out here. And they make this mistake even at some other fast food restaurants where they will supersize, or they will go get the 4-piece meal from Church's Chicken, or they will go get the extra White Castles. And again, leaves a bad first impression on the guy. And some guys will sit there and yes, they'll let you go out here and make that order and pay for it because it's small change to them. But what really changed their mind is about the character that you showed. And once he sees that kind of character, that's when he's already made up his mind and wants to put a period at the end of things as related to further involvement with you. Now, another thing that is really disrespectful that women do to guys out here is asking to go to very expensive places. And that's, again, very disrespectful because it's looking like you're a gold digger. If you're asking to go to all of these expensive places, it's more looking like you're trying to go out here and clout chase at his expense, and you're looking like you're trying to use him as a way to elevate yourself up a social ladder. And that again is disrespectful to that guy because he's not some ATM that's supposed to go out here and pay for you to go to all of these expensive events. No, the whole courtship process is about him getting to know you. So going out here and asking him to take you to expensive places, that's another disrespectful thing that women do because they say, oh, he never takes me anywhere. Well, the whole thing is he's trying to get to know you. And when you go out here and he's asking him to spend money like this, it's again disrespectful because you're showing him that you're not somebody who is going to be a fiscally responsible partner because you're going to take every dollar that he has and you're going to use it to try to climb up social ladders at his expense. And now your simps will go along with this thinking that they're impressing this woman, but this woman is showing nothing but disrespect to that man by asking him to go to all of these expensive places like these five-star restaurants or these um, big time social events. This is disrespectful to that man because that man, like you, has bills and he's only going out with you because one, he likes you, and two, he wants to see if there's a connection with you. But the thing that causes the disconnect is you disrespecting this man by going out here and making all of these demands for going to these places. Now, another disrespectful thing that women do is going out here and trying to crap test a guy. One of the things that leads to a man cutting off a relationship or an attempt at connecting with a woman is when she starts pulling crap tests. A crap test is designed to see how a man would react to a woman by making some sort of unrealistic demand. And if the guy goes along with the woman, she basically loses all respect for him. But a man loses respect for that woman once he finds out that she's crap testing him because that crap test shows that she's insecure. And once he sees that she has these kinds of insecurities, that's when he's just going to decide to let her go. Because if you cannot show him some faith as related to the relationship, you cannot build any trust. So once guys see that you're going to go out here and pull crap tests on them to try to test your character, that's when many guys lose your number and they just cut off all contact with you. Once he sees that you're going to start playing these kind of games with him, most guys put a period at the end of things because most men value their time and they don't have time for an insecure person who's going to go out here and keep trying to test the relationship to see if it's secure. No, a man wants to deal with a woman who has faith in him and has faith in him enough to trust him. And once he sees the crap tests coming along, that's when he pulls the plug right there. And many women, they're sitting there wondering, oh, why didn't he call back? Then this is the main reason why a lot of relationships stop before they even get started. Because once the guy sees the crap test, he knows that everything is downhill from there. And he knows that there's no way he can go out here and further build a relationship with this woman because the problem isn't with him. The problem is with her, and her fears and insecurities are only going to get worse. Now, another thing that women do that is extremely disrespectful that leaves them single is making these accusations of cheating. Now, these accusations of cheating oftentimes come along with the crap test, and these accusations of cheating are another sign of insecurity. And once a man sees that you're going to start making accusations of cheating, that's when he's going to see that this woman is insecure, and that's when he's going to lose your phone number and he's going to cut off all contact. Because if a guy sees you out here making these kinds of accusations early on, he's not going to want to deal with the headaches and the drama, because this is going to lead to an escalation of behaviors that are going to show how this woman is out of control. Now, going out here and making accusations of cheating to a guy, what that sends a message to him is that this woman has been either hurt by some other guy, or she's had her feelings hurt by some guy as related to a previous relationship, and she just does not trust a guy to go out here and be able to do what he needs to do and lead and do what is right. So she doesn't trust that guy, and she's got all these accusations against him and is projecting all of her anger regarding the other guy, and that's a big problem. Now, another problem is that these women, some of them don't feel like they're worth having a relationship, so they start making these stories up because they don't feel like they are worthy of a good partner. So a lot of women will go out here and they will get a decent guy, and a lot of them will start feeling, oh, I'm not worthy of this man. So one of the things they do that to self-sabotage the relationship is make these accusations, because they don't want the relationship to work, or the possible relationship to work. So they go out here and make accusations that this man is cheating. And what they do, again, is self-sabotage themselves and go out here and destroy a good relationship that could possibly come together. And when they do that, it just makes it where everything just falls completely apart. D Wood 78 makes a good point. Yes, oftentimes a lot of women who go out here and make these accusations, they oftentimes are the one that are cheating. And there's a good group of women out there that when they go out here and make that accusation of cheating, chances are she's out here with another guy. Again, another form of disrespect for a man. But the smart guys, when they're out here and they start hearing these accusations, that's when they pull the plug as related to things, because it's only going to get worse. And the insecurities and the doubts that she has shows you that she does not trust you. And if she does not trust you, she basically is not somebody you can build a relationship that's loving, because in order to get to love, you need the intangible of respect first. And with respect, you can build trust, but you can't build trust with an insecure woman. And that's why a lot of guys will just cut it off. So Gordon Freeman asked the question, do women respect the guy anymore? Yeah, there are some that respect men, but a lot of women have been taught not to respect men due to 50 years of feminism and single mother households. So there's a large group of women who don't respect men, but they don't understand that if there is no basic respect in the beginning, then you've basically made it where the guy has no interest in forming a further connection with you. And this is something many women never understand. They sit there and think, oh, I'm wondering why he's not calling. I wonder why I had a great time on the date. But the whole thing is, he saw things that you were doing. And once he saw these behaviors that were small, he just said, okay, I need to put a period at the end of things, because these are not flaws as related to character. These are really serious issues that are coming up. And once he sees that things are getting really leading up to serious issues, that's when he's going to go out here and leave you alone. Now, another disrespectful thing that some women do is dismiss a man's businesses or his hobbies or his interests. And once she dismisses what a man likes to do, that's when he automatically just puts a period at the end of things. Because if you cannot respect who he is and what he does, then he has no interest in further engaging with you. because when he sees a woman disrespecting his hobbies, his interests, or his business, he sees a woman who will not respect him as a man. Because if these are core things to his life, then she's going to have issues with him. And if you cannot respect what he does, and you can't respect what where he goes and how he goes about his life, then he's going to realize that you cannot be a part of his life. If you can't respect the man's work and respect the man's interests, then you're not going to be somebody he considers to be wife material, because you're going to be a woman who craps on his legacy. And once he sees that you don't respect anything that he does, what he's going to do is he's going to not even further engage you. And again, when guys don't want to engage a woman, they don't go out here and get into all of this histrionics and drama. They just quietly walk away, and they quietly lose your number, and they quietly just stop talking to you. And once they quietly stop talking to you, many women, again, they're asking themselves the questions about why things didn't work out. But the reason why things didn't work out is because of the disrespect they were shown. And one of the most disrespectful things is to disrespect the work that a man does, the hobbies a man has, and the interests that he has. Because if you don't like the things that he's doing in his personal life, then personally, you just don't like him. And that's another sign to him that you're in this for the meal and drinks, and that's when he's going to cut things off. Now, that kind of disrespect is one that guys really take seriously, especially when they hear somebody either mocking them and the job that they have, mocking them and the things that they like. That's something that lets the guy know, okay, this is not going to work out, and he's going to go out here and put a period at the end of things. Now, another thing that is disrespectful that women do is showing no respect for a man's property. This is a major sign to a man that he needs to end things. And when he sees a woman disrespecting his property by discarding it or breaking it, or just showing no regard for his property, that's something that really is personal to a man. And what it shows him is that this woman does not respect him. So when a woman goes out here and breaks a man's property and does it real dirty, that really shows a guy right there that he needs to leave this woman, and he needs to not deal with her anymore. When he sees a woman who, whenever he disagrees with her or she gets angry, she starts breaking his stuff, that's when he decides, okay, I need to leave this female alone, because she has discipline issues, she has self-control issues, and if she cannot respect me and respect my things, then she's going to be somebody who I need to not get involved with. And these days, if a woman destroys a man's property, a man, that's again an indicator to him to show her the door and never let her come out again. So that's one of the things that will get a woman just dropped right there. And like males, Thomas says, yeah, breaking a guy's Xbox, yeah, that's just utter disrespect. And that's one of the things that some women do, is like they break your stuff, and they do it because they're angry that they're not getting attention. But the irony is that they wind up getting no attention, because most responsible men, once they see you breaking their stuff, that's when they're going to just stop calling you, stop having contact with you. And some guys, after they see you do this, they will just say, okay, I will take the L on the property and have nothing to do with you. But then other guys will go out here and sue these women in small claims court to get their money back for their property. And again, this is a sign of utter disrespect that many men, they're not going to sit there and tell you this is the reason why they're dropping you. but they're dropping you because you can't show them the basic respect that you say that you want. Now, a lot of women say, oh, I want a man to treat me with respect, but if he cannot get the basic respect from you, where you will respect him and treat him the way you want to be treated, then he's not going to be interested in further pursuing a relationship with you. If he sees early on, as related to his first impressions of you, that you don't respect him, then he's not no reason to further pursue any sort of relationship with you. Once he sees that he cannot receive respect, and he's practically done at this point. And this was something I learned way back when I was about 14 years old, is that you do not sacrifice your respect for anyone. I mean, basically, if a woman is showing herself to you early on, she has already shown me that this is not somebody I would want to consider to be a partner. I saw this with teenage girls, and I see it with adult women. And once I see these kind of behaviors early on, that's when it's time to put a period at the end of things and keep it moving. And so many women, again, they sit there and they're wondering, oh, why didn't I get that call back? Why didn't I ever get another text message? Why isn't this guy looking to contact me again? Well, these are many of the reasons why that guy never called back. And this is many of the reasons why this guy cut off contact. He saw these initial behaviors, and once he saw these initial behaviors, he automatically became turned off. And once he saw that he could not get his respect, that was the straw that broke the camel's back early on. But many women will sit there and wonder, oh, I don't know why I can't find a man. Well, the main reason why you can't find any man to further pursue any sort of relationship with you is due to your behavior. And a lot of women, they don't understand how their behavior is turning guys off, because they grow up again in this feminist culture around these single mothers and these women who have been divorced, and they hear these women talking about how they can just mistreat a man. And when he sees them talking about how they can mistreat a man and disrespect them and model this kind of behavior, they don't see how they're being set on a road to failure. Because once they see their mothers disrespecting men and mistreating men, what that does is it sends a message, oh, I can go out here and mistreat the guys I get involved with, and I can go out here and get away with this. And yes, you may get away with it with one of these simps or maybe one of these pookies, but when it comes down to a quality man of character, once he sees this behavior starting, he is going to nip that behavior in the bud, not by confronting you about your behavior, but he's going to nip that behavior in the bud by stopping all engagement with you. Now, I go in depth on this in my book, Why 70% of Black Women Are Single. And you can get that book on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. And once he sees that that behavior is part of your character, that's when he's going to cut his losses and he's going to cut off all contact with you. And once he cuts off contact, that's it for that guy. But many women, they don't understand this. They're sitting there thinking, oh, some of them think it's cute to be disrespectful. Some of them think it's part of a test to see if this man will have any sort of grit or character to stand with her. But a true to the game man has no time for games, and it's usually game over once he sees these behaviors early on, because if he cannot get basic respect from you from an initial meeting, then you're not going to be able to deal with this woman later on in the relationship. Because if she cannot show you basic respect, as related to just basic human contact and treats you like a decent human being, then there's no further reason to continue engaging this woman and continuing to pursue further contact with her. I mean, once the guy sees that there's no respect as related to any sort of engagement, that's when he's going to just say, I'm going to cut my losses and I'm going to put a period at the end of things. Now, the most extreme thing a woman could do that is disrespectful is to put hands on a man. And to put hands on a man just because she disagrees with him or he has a difference of opinion, again, that shows very little self-control. And when he sees her putting hands on him for a basic disagreement or a difference of opinion, that's another sign that this woman has no respect for him as a man. Because if a man cannot respectfully agree to disagree with a woman, then it shows that she has really poor self-control. And it also shows that she just cannot go out here and work with a man in a cooperative fashion. And because she can't work with a man in a cooperative fashion, that's a sign that this woman is not suitable to be a helpmeet or support to a man. Because if you cannot work with a man as related to a basic issue, what that sends a message to that man is that you're not somebody who, if he has a serious business issue or a serious issue that's going on, you're going to be able to work with him because you're going to get in your emotions and want to argue with him. And once he sees argumentative behavior early on, that's another thing that is disrespectful to him. Because yes, you can disagree with a person, but there's a constructive way to disagree with a person. If a guy sees somebody being loud, argumentative, and extremely rude early on, that's a sign that, okay, this is a person I'm not compatible with because this person has serious self-control issues. And that's another thing that, again, is disrespectful to a man, because if you have a disagreement with a man as related to your opinion, what you do is you just show that man respect as related to presenting your talking points, and you don't get emotional and explosively emotional to the point where you're getting into a back and forth with him. Again, it's one of the most disrespectful things is putting hands on a man and trying to argue with a man. Those are things that practically, if the guy has an initial meeting, that means it's done. And you have some women out here who think arguing is a form of communication because they grew up in a dysfunctional household. And because they grew up in dysfunctional households, they think that acting up like this is perfectly fine. Now, we have 47 in the room, and let's see how many likes we have. Just want to get those likes up. You got 26 likes. Let's get those likes up to about 30 or so, or 40 at least. Come on, guys, let's get those likes up. And you guys can pick up Isis Legacy on Amazon.com in paperback right now and pre-order on Kindle. Really want to get the sales up on this book. It's a positive story about how a woman's legacy adds to a man's legacy. And this is a book I definitely think you would want to give your kids, because it really shows how much of an impact Black women have on Black families and how important a legacy actually is. What's going on, Tacman Killer 187? Glad to see you here. So you guys get Isis Legacy on Amazon right now. And it's a great book that I really want to see everybody pick up, because I'm starting again the SJS Direct 2022 catalog, and I want to start it off strong with some strong sales. So if it wasn't for your support and God helping me, I wouldn't be here. So I'm really, again, that's why I'm trying to rally the sales. But I wanted to do this show because I wanted to show women and a lot of disrespectful things that they do that winds up messing them up. And a lot of women, they sit there and they say, oh, I'm looking for a good man. I'm looking for a decent man. But you have to know how to treat a man if you want to have a relationship with him. And that's one of the other big problems with a lot of women out here They don't know how to treat a man because they've never seen their mothers know how to treat a man in the right way, because they've grown up in households with single moms and divorced moms, and they've seen their mothers disrespecting men. They think it's okay to go out here and show disrespect to men. But when you show disrespect to men early on, many of those men don't choose to make you a girlfriend. Many of those men don't choose to make you a wife. And many of those men don't choose to have a second date with you. That is how devastating disrespect has an impact on many women. Unfortunately, many women, when they're young, they're thinking that it's cute to be disrespectful. They're thinking that it's funny to be disrespectful. And they're not understanding the long-term impact of disrespect that they direct towards men until they hit their mid-30s or their early 40s, and many of those prospects for relationships start to dry up. That's when they start to feel the impact of being disrespectful, because all of those men that they threw middle fingers up and mocked and ridiculed and disrespected, that's when those men are out here, aren't available anymore to go out here and pander for her attention. And when those men are no longer available, that's when these women start to get anxious and start to get nervous, because instead of them thinking that they're the prize, what happens is they see that many of their prospects practically have dried up, because while they were young, they thought it was cute and funny to go out here and talk about how this guy has a big head, how this guy looks like a rat, how this guy acts real stupid. But at the end of the day, it is the man who makes the choice of whether he wants to make that woman a wife. And once he sees that kind of disrespect at 16 or 17 or even 21, that's when that woman starts to feel it at 31 or 41. And when you show this man disrespect at 16 and 18 and 21, that's when those guys start thinking critically about, hey, do I really want to have a relationship with this woman? Do I really want to make this woman a partner in my life? Do I really want to have this woman out here at my side? And she goes out here and disrespects me and embarrasses me, because that really reflects negatively on that man. Because if his woman does not respect him, then other people will not respect him. And that's what many critically thinking men start thinking about as related to your behavior. Is he starts thinking about how this behavior reflects on him. Because if he has a woman who is coming out of her mouth and saying disrespectful things and going behind his back, that is sending a message to the world that he is a weak man, and it is sending a message that she is somebody who does not regard him, so they don't need to regard him. And again, these are negative messages that women aren't really thinking about when they're out here. They're not really thinking that, oh, the way you treat this man, really, it hurts him, because when he's out here trying to get job promotions, or he's trying to go out here and make contact with clients, when you start acting rude and disrespectful, what that does is it makes him look weak. And when he starts to look weak, what that does is it lessens the impression on other people, and it makes it where this guy is not going to be able to move up as related to his career, and he's not going to be able to make contact with business contacts, because when they see that his wife or his girlfriend is being this disrespectful woman who is going to talk over him or talk down to him or just go out here and correct him. That's another disrespectful thing that women do that they don't know that they're doing. You don't disrespect your man by correcting him in the when he's having a conversation in public. No, if he makes a mistake, you take him to the side in private and you let him know that, okay, you made a little bit of a mistake. That is a mistake that a lot of women make. Oh, I'm going to correct my man in front of other people. And correcting your man in front of other people, that just shows that you don't respect his leadership, and that's not how you go about things. And that's the kind of stuff that people get fired over, because you don't go out here and disrespect a boss by correcting a boss in the middle of a business meeting, and you wouldn't disrespect your man by doing these kind of things. Now, that kind of, again, disrespect is something many women are not taught when they're young. They're just taught, oh, they've seen her talking over men. They've seen her talking over guys and correcting guys, and that's just not something that you do. That's not good. That's not good manners, and it is disrespectful, and it just reflects badly on a lot of women, but they don't really know that they're reflecting badly by going out here. And what's really sad is many of these same women, they are disrespectful to a man in a social situation, but they would not show they would show their bosses the respect that they should show their boyfriends or their husbands. So a lot of women, they'll go to the boss and they won't go out here and talk over him or talk down to him or correct him, but they'll do this to a dating prospect. And again, that just shows how she has more respect for the boss than she does for the man. And again, that's why the woman is falling apart, because she doesn't understand God's natural order. And as part of God's natural order, you have to show respect to your husband first, or any man that you are wanting to get involved with. And you want to show that man that respect, because if you love the Lord with all your heart, soul, and your strength, you want to show that man love by showing him respect. And if you love your man as you love yourself, you're going to show that man respect. But many women are taught not to show love to a man because they've seen their mothers show a lot of anger towards a man, a lot of frustration towards a man, and mistreat a man, or they've had bad boyfriends who have treated them bad. But when they go out here and disrespect men, that doesn't give them any incentive to further get involved with them. And because that man doesn't have incentive to go out here and get involved with you, he doesn't call you back, he doesn't continue contact, and he doesn't continue contact because once he sees that you're not going to show him basic respect, that shows him that there's no further reason to further advance any sort of offer as related to a relationship. So once the guy sees that your behavior and conduct are not going to be respectful to him, that's when he wants to put a period at the end of things. And once he sees that you're not going to show him basic respect, that's when he's going to just call things off. And again, many men value their time, and they're not going to continue wasting time with someone hoping that they can go out here and fix things and make things better, because most smart men know that a woman is as is, and as he sees her right now is how she will be, and the character she shows him right now shows him who she truly is. And that's why once he sees that character and he sees that behavior, that's when he wants to put a period at the end of things, because it's not worth his time to sit here and try to help a woman work through her issues as related to her anger or her daddy issues, or deal with her drama or her insecurities. Yes, people do have flaws, but these serious issues are things that are beyond his scope to work on. And these are the things that you need to go to the Most High with and try to work those issues out, because these little things of disrespect, again, they show a lack of faith in God and a lack of faith in God's steward. And when you show a lack of faith and a lack of trust, this is what breeds disrespect, because disrespect is the physical manifestation of anger and contempt. And these anger issues need to be worked on by your modern females. And this is something that really needs to be dealt with because not many women, again, they don't understand how these little disrespectful things are keeping them single and being kept. And the thing is, a lot of women sit there and wonder why they can't get a man. Well, this man is telling you why you're not getting that call back, why you're not getting that text back, and why you're not getting that reception that you want to move things forward. I got 36 likes. Let's get the likes up to 40. Guys, let's get the likes up to 40. If you want your tag, we got 45 in the room, and I'm gonna drop a link to the Cash App so you guys can drop a link, drop some on the Cash App. So that also helps with the channel. I'm gonna take a minute to look at the comments. So you guys can drop a link to the Cash App. Gypsy Catcher 30 says she noticed a weird thing with single moms. They seem to respect and take the opinion of their children over the stepfather. They agree with any derogatory remarks. That's because they don't respect the stepfather. Because a lot of times with the single mom, she doesn't respect male authority. And because she doesn't respect male authority, what she does is she goes behind the guy's back. And what this is that she still has issues with the other man she's involved with. And she really had a lot of them have issues with men because they haven't worked out their issues. So that's why stepfather relationships always fall apart, because the woman does not respect the man and respect the man to have any sort of regard for his authority or who he is. So D-Wood 78 Part 2 left a good comment. He said, many females have an issue with men being gamers. It's a hobby, ladies. As long as he's taking care of business, it shouldn't be an issue. And I have to agree with him. Yeah, guys are going to have their hobbies like gaming. Some guys are going to have hobbies like cars. And if that guy is out here working on his games and working on his cars, you shouldn't be worried because you know where he is. And if he's in the garage working on his cars, or he's in his room working on his games, that means you know where he is. And the whole thing is he's not out with some other woman and going out here and having an affair behind your back. Now, that's all due to the female's insecurities about this man putting his attention on things. But a man does need to have his own hobbies, and he needs to have time for those hobbies. And these hobbies, again, this is the way a man goes out here and enjoys himself. And if you cannot respect a man's hobbies, then you don't respect him. And if you don't respect his hobbies, then you don't need to be in a relationship with him. I mean, guys are, again, they're going to have their hobbies, whether it be football games, comic books, wrestling. They're going to have their hobbies. This is part of who he is. And if you want him to stop doing these things, it's the whole thing is you're trying to change him into something that he's not. He's taking you as is. And if he's taking you as is, you need to take him as is, and you need to show him the same respect you want shown to you. Because a lot of women, they'll have their hobbies, and then they'll get mad when the guy says something about those hobbies. But those hobbies should not be a problem for you. No, those hobbies are a part of who he is, and you just need to appreciate the hobbies that he has. I mean, this is something many women don't really understand because, again, they've never had relationships with men. They've never seen a model of a relationship with a man. They've never understood how men operate, and they get angry because they want to be the center of attention. But the whole thing is, just like you have time for yourself, you want time. He wants time for himself. He can't be around you all the time like these simps are. And if a guy is around you too long, you're not going to respect him because you're going to take him for granted. And a lot of women don't understand that if a guy is constantly there, he becomes annoying. So you have to understand that he needs space to be himself, just like you need space to be yourself. But I wanted to do this stream because it was, again, an idea that came to me last night in my head. And I was thinking about why a lot of women are sitting here complaining they can't get a man, and they're not understanding the little things that that make it where a man still doesn't want to further pursue a relationship with you. It's little things like showing him these little signs of disrespect that turn off a guy. And when he sees these little signs of disrespect, he no longer wants to further engage you in any sort of relationship. So once he sees the little things that show that things aren't going to work, he's not going to look to go out here and further make things work. He's not going to waste his time with this relationship. So that's something I wanted people to think about. Hey, GBoo2786, glad to see you here. I do a live stream with GBoo2786 every Thursday at 9 p.m. So if you want to check out me on GBoo2786 on Thursdays at 9, you can subscribe to his channel and by clicking the link in the chat. And once you check his stream out on Thursday nights at 9, you can get another appearance and see me talking about random topics. And while you're there, you can while I'm here, I'm going to promote ISIS Legacy once again. And I really want to get the sales up on ISIS Legacy this weekend. Again, this is a great book for Black History Month, a great positive story. And it's one that I really want to see readers pick up. It's the 20th book in the ISIS series, and it signifies the 10th anniversary of the ISIS series in print. So I really want to see people picking up ISIS Legacy this weekend. And I'm still going to go on and talk about tonight's topic again, because this is a very important topic. What's up, Frank Nitty XX? I'm glad to see you here. He's one of my longtime viewers from the West Coast. And we're talking about, again, disrespectful things that women do in tonight's show. And I really, again, wanted to do this show because I see so many women out here just sitting there wondering why things aren't working. But as a man, I wanted to just put some perspective on those things so people could understand why things didn't work, why you didn't get that call back, why you didn't get that text for the second date, and why that guy just basically left you after one date or one meeting at a coffee shop. He left you because of these little things. And again, it's the little disrespects that go out here and show a man that he's not going to see any sort of thing as related to the relationship moving forward. It's these little things that show him that he's wasting his time going out here further trying to engage you. And it's these little things that show him that this is just not going to work out, because it's the little disrespects that, again, lead to the big disrespects. And a critical thinking man, once he sees the little disrespects, that's when he cuts off all contact with you. And he'll do this again very quietly, and you won't know why this is happening, but this is happening because once he sees this behavior, he's practically done. Now, the simp, he'll go along with this type of behavior and think that it's okay. But the ordinary guy, once he sees the little stuff like talking under your breath, slick comments, sighs, hisses, rolled eyes, that's the time for him to say, okay, it's time for me to say thank you for a nice evening, and I'm going to leave. Or if he's having an initial contact, thank you for your time, and I'm just going to be out. And you'll be sitting there thinking, oh, he just says he'll be out, but he's out for good because he's already seen something bad. And once he sees something bad, he understands his time is precious, and he doesn't want to further waste time trying to deal with you and trying to deal with all of these issues as related to you. Most guys can, again, notice these warning signs early on, and once they see those warning signs as related to disrespect, they don't let it escalate. This is something Tariq Nasheed even talked about in his classic video, 7 Levels of Disrespect. And once he sees level 1 disrespect, that's when he decides to end everything, because it's not, he knows that if it's level 1 disrespect from day 1, he may be sent to level 7 4 or 5 years later. G-Boot, I'm getting ready to do a Kim Potter video tomorrow. I'm going to shoot that tomorrow, and I might have it up. I might possibly move a video up from Sunday to Monday, but I am getting ready to shoot a Kim Potter video possibly tomorrow. So I planned on doing that video, but I just didn't have it on the schedule. I might just move it to Sunday night. It just depends on where I'm at. But the whole thing is, I planned on doing that video once I heard about that egregious conviction, not conviction, but that sentencing. But that's a video that I have planned, and I have other videos planned that I'm planning to do. Getting ready to do a video talking about male heroes on the SJS Direct imprint. So I've got some other videos planned that I'm getting ready to do. So I really wanted to go in depth on this topic because, again, a lot of women don't understand these disrespectful things that they're doing. And I really wanted women to really come out and understand what's going on. So it's almost 12:30 here in New York. So I've got to get back to work on The Woman Crisis and some other books. And I have to finish up some other stuff for the rest of the next week. So I'm going to get ready to wrap up tonight's stream. And I'm asking people again to go out here and pick up a copy of Isis Legacy on Amazon.com in paperback right now, because it's available on paperback. And you can pre-order a copy on Kindle. And I'm trying to, again, get the sales up on Isis Legacy, the 20th book in the Isis series. And I'm trying to get people to pick up the SJS Direct 2022 books in the catalog. And I'm going to give everybody a progress report on John Haynes at Death's Door. The final art on the comic, as related to the initial story, is complete. All 30 pages are completely done by Antonio Balderi. So that 30 pages is done. I'm just waiting for the epilogue and the cover, and I'm hoping to get that Kickstarter out here soon. A lot of people love the art on At Death's Door, and I really love the art on this book. I love the way everything has come together. Every sequence just looks absolutely beautiful, and I can't wait to share this book with all of the readers who have picked up books on the SJS Direct imprint. And I want to thank one viewer for sending me the donation to be able to get all of this started. A sister, went out here and helped me out, and I'm grateful for her, because if it wasn't for her and God putting it on her heart to go out here and give me that donation, I would not have been able to get this comic to the marketplace. So I'm really grateful to her for that support. So I want to thank her for supporting me, and I want to thank everybody for coming out here to tonight's stream and spending time with me. And I hope you'll be here for next week's stream. Everybody have a great evening, and everybody have a good night. And everybody have a great weekend as well.